But welcome. There we go. That should be better, I think. There. Now you can hear me again, I think. Welcome back, everyone. I have no idea what happened. I came back. I joined the, I did see that chat history. The blood cringe was cringe. But yes. We're back. I clicked transition to switch back from the BRB scene to the live scene, and Streamlabs OBS just froze. So I don't know what happened or how it happened, but hopefully, yes, third time, hopefully the charm. We'll see. Although I'm looking at the time and I don't know how much longer I'm really going to be able to stream. So I'm going to try and finish this up. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the layout today. I'm going to try, though. Okay. Some light rust. So, let's add some orange paint. No, go for it, Brian. Absolutely. That's totally. I mean, everyone in the chat, feel free to check it out. But Brian does some really cool stuff with kind of gamifying model rating and making it like interactive through the coding he's done. It's super neat stuff. So post away, Brian. If you put it in, I don't know if it'll automatically link. So what I might have to do is copy paste it, and then I might have to post it as a link. But try. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try. Yes, Andrew, I will be at Amherst. I'll be at Amherst both days, actually. I'm gonna be there. I'll have my T-track module, which is up here on my bed right now, as part of the Northeast N-track T-track layout. So I'll spend some time running trains with them. And then for 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday, I will be volunteering at the NMRA booth. So swing by. I'll post the times excuse me, when I have them confirmed with the guys at the NMRA, when I'll be at the NMRA booths. And then I'll be spending some time just walking around the shop. So if you see me, feel free to say hi. But I'll be sure to post the times that I'll be at the NMRA booth, and I'll be sure to post the times when I figure out the timing for when I'll be running trains at the Northeast T-track layout. But I will be there. I will be there the whole time, basically. Alright, let's get some... Yeah, I mean, what I'll do is, I might have to, I might see if other people I know are doing meet and greets and then just kind of join in with them. But if you see me at the show, and this goes for any show, really. If you see me at the show, feel free to come up and say hi. I'm more than happy to get to know people. It's getting to know the members of my community is super awesome. So this is my first year going. Excuse me, both days. Excuse me. Yeah. Let me get this rust paint. Oops, that was too much orange, I think. Let me get this rust paint mixed up, Brian, and then I think I'll pull it up. There we go. Let me pull it up, and I'll see if I can post it. Yeah, North County always usually does. I'll see if I can link up with him, maybe. I will figure it out. There it is. Do you want me to get the one from the Great Model Train Fair, or is there a which I guess any of them really work. Just show it off. Yep, I was at the one with Sparky last year. I got to meet a bunch of people there, which was great. I got to see Ed. I got to see Corey was there for a little bit. Obviously Sparky, which was great fun. Yeah. All right. Copy this. Open in web browser. Let's see if, as the stream host, hopefully I'll be able to post a link. There it is. So Brandon, be sure to check this out. I mean, everyone check this out. Brian's work is super neat. But
To show off a concept I'm working on. It's called virtual freight. So the way that it works,
super cool stuff. Super cool stuff.
each of these things here, we have a coal power plant and a coal mine. And the idea
Of course, Brian, your work is sick, and it totally deserves to be shared out there. So.
it reads there with an RFID, communicates through Wi-Fi and WebSockets in order to fill it up. And then, if you continue
Back to work for me. While you guys check that out.
the power plant, you will see that the coal
Good to know, Dave. Also, welcome, Dave.
starts burning the coal at the power
Yeah,
plant.
the main narrow gauge guys, the 2-footers. Those are super neat.
Do with this, you'll be able to have your layout for an area for
The 2-foot narrow gauge stuff up there, super cool. I want to someday. I'll have to get up to Maine and actually get to see it.
fun things you can do.
But, so I guess while I'm, oh, I'm not. I was playing the video. Oops, I forgot. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, I did not. I forgot that playing the playing the video on my screen also plays the audio for you guys. My bad. But anyways, while I'm doing this weathering here, the reason I'm streaming today is Thankmas. So Sean McLoughlin, or Jacksepticeye here on YouTube, put together this event starting a few years back, and it's a yearly event for fundraising for various charitable causes. So this year we are working with Crisis Text Line and Samaritans, to which are both mental health crisis lines, to help them raise a little bit of money to help them do the work they do, because it's super important when people are having mental health crises to have someone to talk to. So we've already hit our goal, which is super awesome. And what that means is everyone who has donated and will donate for the rest of the stream today, if you fill out the Google form, which gets sent to you in your email for when you donate, you will be enrolled in a giveaway for this N-scale car, as well as 2 other N-scale cars, which you can choose which one you would rather get. And then when we do the giveaway, I'll basically, when I determine who the winner is, which will just be a random draw, they will get the car that they want if it hasn't already been given away, basically. So, if you want to be involved in that, be sure to donate to the cause, and you get a chance to win this car that I'm weathering right now live on stream, as well as a 50-foot high cube from the Burlington Northern and a 50-foot high cube from what's it called, the Apalachicola Northern, which is a per diem boxcar from a short line down in Florida. So yeah. All right, let's focus up here on this car now. Pull the camera a little closer so you can see a little better. But I am working on just a touch of rust. These less than carload freight cars were basically intended, so you bring them to a loading dock and you load them in with various goods from various different customers, and you send them to another loading dock, and then they get unloaded there and spread out to all the various places they're going. Oh, awesome. Great to hear, Andrew. Hope she's having a good time. But so the companies like the Mopac and New York Central with their pacemaker service would use them to use these services to fill boxcars that would otherwise be left partially empty with the load that they're being loaded with, to make sure that the car makes the maximum money it can. And they would keep the cars fairly clean to entice customers with clean and stately service to get their goods where they need to go. So I'm trying to keep this car fairly clean. Which is a touch of rust, a touch of grime, road grime. So I think that's probably about it for rust on this side. So we'll jump to the end. A little bit more rust on the end of the car. There we go. glad to be teaching there, Brian. I've my hyper focus on railroading means that I read and watch a lot of books and videos, and I kind of pick up on some of the history that's inherent to that. And then I share it around to everyone. Oh, I never changed my calendar. My wall calendar over here still says November. It's my NMRA wall calendar, so I should probably change that. But not right now, because right now I'm focused on work. If by work, I mean rust. Yeah, I've always been super fascinated by history. So, and railroads have a lot of history, so. Oh, it did it. No, go away, Etsy. Shush. Very nice, Andrew. Yeah, I've got a number of, I keep the NMRA calendar up, but over the years, I've been given a bunch of, railroad I'm trying to think, what was the railroad calendars? I was recently given a couple of Susquehanna calendars, and there's another railroad that was in there that I can't remember what it was. But I was given them as birthday presents, just to enjoy the pictures in them, because they're from the 90s. Calendars from the 90s are not very useful to me today. But seeing some of the pictures in there, it's super awesome. And East Broad Top is really neat, Andrew. EBT is a very interesting railroad. And I'm glad that they were able to bring it back Someday I'll get down to PA and see it. Excuse me. But yeah, the EBT is super neat. And yep. Old calendars make the rounds. I think I have a Norfolk Southern calendar. They do eventually. I think I have a Norfolk Southern calendar from 1999 or 2001, 2002. I have Norfolk Southern calendars from. For whatever reason, I don't know. I just have them. Oh, speaking of old things and also history, I got this yesterday, and this is super cool. This has zero value to me, like zero application or applicability, but this is super cool. This is a instruction guide for running an F3 EMD locomotive from 1948, and it's just a manual for how to run an F3 from John W. Swan, 9/15/48. So, at the time it was worth 45 cents, 75 cents. That's the word. But it's just a really neat thing to have. Like, it's just so cool. So I just have that now. It's especially cool because for the BNCCS I've got I literally got it, like I got it about 18 hours ago. So I've only really looked through it once so far, but it's so cool. Most of the old stuff I have is maps, but stuff like that is really neat. I've got some cool old maps though, too. I've got a Penn Central system map from 72, I want to say it was, 72 or 73. I've got a Conrail system map from 78. And I'm trying to keep an eye out for New Haven manuals, New Haven Railroad manuals, timetables, stuff like that, because the New Haven is my love. That is what the railroad of choice for me. If I'm not going with my fictional BNCCS. Awesome stuff, Andrew. Yeah, the Central and the D&H are great roads too, but I mean, I where I live here, I'm sitting here in my house. I'm probably 3 miles, 2.5, 3 miles, something like that, from the former New Haven Maybrook line, from Danbury to Maybrook, Danbury, Connecticut to Maybrook, New York. And as I was getting really getting into, all right, well, let me actually look at specifics and get into local history. And when I found that that's right here in my backyard, that's, I latched right onto that. Oh, I'm sure there'll be New Haven stuff in Amherst. I joined, actually last year at Amherst, I joined the New Haven Railroad Technical and Historical Association while I was there. The NHRHTA, Chris Adams, and all those guys are great. Chris Adams, Paul Cutler III, great guys. But I will definitely I'll be mostly keeping an eye out for rolling stock and model railroad equipment, but I will definitely be watching out for New Haven manuals, rule books, various documentation, maps, things like that, because I find that stuff so neat. Like I said, I love history, so. so that's pretty good. Oh, that's neat. Where's that out of? Mother Stocking Railway. Let's open up Professor Google here. Oh, up in Milford. Okay, okay. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Cool. Super cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Cooperstown and Charlotte Valley. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome stuff. Alright, let's just do it. I'm gonna do a touch more around this door. Too much, too much, too much. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay. That's done. Let's do a little bit of grime. A little bit of road grime. So let me mix up some of that. Oh, shoot. You know what I need to do? I need to go grab my grime. I will be back in 5 seconds. Grime acquired. Let's add a little bit of that to this. Here. I need a little bit more light color in this. Let's grab my white pastel stick. Exacto. Shave off a little more of this guy. Let's see, will that do the job? That'll do. Actually, a little bit more. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, Andrew. And like I said, I'll be sure to post when I'll be at the NMRA booth and when I'll be where and stuff. So, hope to see you there. Thanks for stopping in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. What time is it? Oh, yeah, I probably won't be streaming for much more than another 30-40 minutes myself. I want to finish this car up, and then I'm going to see about running a switch job, depending on the timing. That's probably okay. of this old Tuscan to get a little bit of brown in there. There's some dirt. There we go. Now that's grimy. Alright, and now we're gonna the bottom of the car here with some grime. There we go. That looks good. That's the ticket. Yeah, thanks, Brian. That's doing the job. Sorry if I get a little quiet. I'm locking in right now. I'm trying to really focus up on getting this looking good. Stuff, and now the end. You know what I'm gonna do, actually? I'm gonna get a touch of this light rust going with this for the roof. Where's that big wide brush? There it is. There we go. Get this little tiny brush here. Just a little bit of dark rust paint color up on the roof here. There it is. You could see that one was coming for a minute there. More of this dark. Thank you, Brian. Stuck my finger right into weathering powder, which would have been awkward to clean up. There it is. Good stuff. Okay. Almost done with this. Just gotta clean this brush real quick. And now we're gonna do a little bit of rust powder coming down the sides. And then we will be done with the car. And we'll throw it back together and toss it on the layout. And we'll do a quick switching job. I think we'll have time for. I don't even know if I'll generate a switch list. We'll see. Go. Okay, a little more. Here. And there it is. There, is that a little better, Brian? Hopefully that's a little better. I just increased my mic gain a touch. Let me snap that together. There is our car. Get this all thrown away. There we go. Don't need any of that. I am quite happy with how this car has come out here. What I'm going to do actually, it's not quite done, because I want to do a little bit of grime down below, a little bit of dirt down below, really. And of course, glad you said something. If you don't say anything, then I don't know that you can't hear me, really. So I will, if it's for just my layout, I usually don't, but I probably will, because this is being given away. I will probably hit this with a very, very light touch of dull coat, just to make sure that whoever's getting this car winds up with the weathering staying on the car as opposed to it falling off onto their fingers. But either way works for me. It's the powders I use are pretty resilient. They tend to stay on pretty well. But they do come off on the fingers slowly over time. So, for this, where I'm set, if basically the times where I've done jobs for people, or people were giving me their cars to weather for them, or where I'm doing it and then giving it to someone, I seal it in. It kills some of the color in the job, but it's worth it to keep the rest of the job there. So I've got here it is. Got a whole bottle of dull coat right here to mix up with my thinner and shoot. So for powders, most of what I use is this Bragdon Enterprises weather system powder. It's Bragdon powders, basically. They come in these little, things like this. You can get them either Bragdon or AIM, is I think what Bragdon sold them to. They're it's a super, super fine powder, so it's fairly self-adherent. Which is super nice, and so I use those. Some of what I use, I didn't use any today, but sometimes, and for some of the stuff I use, where did I put them? I use, there it is, Tamiya, whatever, Weathering Master. I use set B and set C. There's the set B. So I use these guys, and these are self-adherent. So those are pretty nice. And then if I need a color that's other than those, but I want it to be powder, I've got a set of standard artists pastel sticks, and I shave it down into powder using my X-Actels, and then if I can, I'll add a touch of the Bragdon powder as long as I can do so without completely ruining the color. I'll use a touch of the Bragdon powder. That way it gets some of that adherence. But yeah. All right, so I think that's that on this car. That is a job well done, I would say. I'm trying to decide if I have time. I think I do. I think I have time. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes here to move all my cameras over to the layout, and we will run. Well, actually, while I'm here, let's do this. Let's run. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. Where did I put it? All right, I'm gonna real quick do this. I'm gonna add a source. Display capture. Add source. Why does it keep doing this? Add. Why does it keep doing this? Full screen. I'm gonna quickly, we're gonna make a quick switch list. So I'm gonna put this there, put this here. There's that. Industry. All right, we're gonna swap over to here. So this is the Ops Buddy tool, which MF Railroad Matt Forkham developed. Just a Google spreadsheet basically for generating switch lists semi-randomly. And it's just a roll table basically from a tabletop game, you know, D&D or Warhammer 40k or whatever. So all you need is a spreadsheet and a D20, physical or virtual. So I'm gonna roll the D20. So I'm gonna roll the D20. There we go. We get a 5. So Balfour Lumber is not gonna get worked. Actually, that doesn't work because I need Balfour Lumber to be worked. So loading docks is not gonna get worked. We're gonna roll 14. There we go. I need to fiddle with it just a touch because I do need the lumber and the canning company to get worked. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I need the loading docks to be worked too. So let me just pre-check those. All right. Let's roll. Let's just reset here. So I need both of those to get worked. That way we can pick up the cars. 11. All right. 1 boxcar. Roll. 2. 1 boxcar track 1. That works. So yeah, this basically how this is set up is you roll for each, just like a roll table, you roll for each event, and then you check the box for it. So canning company's not going to get worked, depot's not going to get worked, cement will probably be worked because it always is almost. 8. Yep. And you can set the numbers yourself basically for what you want. So I want the cement company to be worked basically every session because it's a really fun industry for me to work. So I set it so that it's a very, very, very likely that it will get worked. And in 11, so there we go. And then I check the cars over here. And then I go from there to the switch list builder. So TASD has been picked up, AN has been set out, that stays, BN has been set out. And actually let me swap this real quick because this is actually inaccurate. It's the other BN car because I manually swapped them. Well, my cement industry is not it's not your average cement industry. Basically, all that I have modeled is the unloading shed, and that's because it's because that's all I really have space for. I wanted to model a cement company because I have a good number of covered hoppers that I can use. Oops, that goes over here. Nope, I said that goes over here. But I didn't have the space to put silos and stuff, so I just have the unloading shed and 2 tracks. So it's not typical, I'll say, but I am really happy with how it came out. I weathered on Tuesday, actually, on stream. I weathered the house, the unloading house. Oops, I need to copy, bold, paste, copy, bold, paste, and I bold these, that way I know, okay, I'm picking those up. So I know I'm gonna be picking that up. And I know I'm going to be picking this up. Okay. So, I had... Whoops. There we go. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I gave myself a nice long lead, and I made it really interesting to work, which is good enough for me. So, 1 boxcar to lumber, 1 boxcar track 2 to loading docks, and the cement. Okay. That's easy enough. So, 1 boxcar to lumber. Do the P and W to the loading docks. And then we'll do... Where did my Penn Central car go? Car inventory. Let me grab that one again. I must have accidentally deleted it because I do not need that one and I want that one. Switch this builder, paste it there. Drag it back here, and then we'll do the Conrail, why not? And then I will just go ahead and get rid of that. Whoops, what did I do? Oh, I hit F12 instead of delete. So then the nice thing about this is now you take all this switch list that you've generated, you copy it, you put it in the ready for print, you paste it into this border that Matt's put here. You've got your little tips and tricks over here, your unit, your locomotive unit and stuff like that, although this is not accurate to what you're gonna do. And you can print this out. If you do print, it's perfectly on a nice little 11 by 17 sheet of paper. And it's super easy to read and stuff, so it's super nice. But so we're just gonna leave it there for now. And oops, actually, we're not going to do the P&W. I just remembered we need to add, we just need to, for today, MP 121022 box. Underlined. Italicized as well. Go away. And we're gonna do that one instead of Providence and Worcester. That way we get it on the railroad for once. Just for once. Okay. And now we copy it all. We paste it in the ready for print. And because I promised on the last stream that the next job we did, we're going to use the steam engine. We're going to use the steam engine. Where did I put it? There it is. We are going to use a New Haven 282 to run the switching job tonight. So this is going to be our power for the switch job. So I'm going to go ahead and do the be right back scene. So I can set up the cameras, we'll get the switch job done, and then we'll end stream for tonight. So I will be back in, I don't know, 2 minutes. Okay, welcome back to layout. That camera is not, it's not positioned right. This needs to be more like this. There we go. And then that's there. There's the layout. Alright, so welcome to the, welcome back to the Balfour Industrial. On the Balfour and Colucci Creek Southern. So we've got graphite on the layout. That shouldn't be there. Yeah, so this is the layout. It's a 1 foot by 6 foot N scale switching layout. There you go. Now you can see both ends of the layout. So I got two cameras here, one facing this half, one facing that half. Built it, I don't remember, probably 8 years ago now, 9 years ago now, something along those lines. It's just a fictional little industrial park, basically. So we've got cement industry down here. So this is the shed that I weathered on stream the other day. Just scratch built out of styrene. And then weathered with those Bragg and powders. So that's where the cement cars go, and you'll see why it's a fun operation when we get to it, but I basically have a little swap going on. It's like it's a industry that grew, it has its demand growing faster than its facilities, so it's getting more cars that it can handle at any given time. And then up here we have some track work that maybe this weekend, maybe next week sometime is going to get reworked actually. But for now we've got the canning and company and the loading docks. And then down at this end we have the Williams Williams Depot, which is like a hardware store. And then we have the Balfour Lumber Yard, which I also scratch built that building, and I've got some lights down here, so if I put some of the lights away, there you go, you can see it's kind of nicely lit up. Turn the lights back on so you can actually see everything again. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and run this switch job. Where's my phone? That way I can pull up the switch list. There it is. Alright. So the first step we're going to do is actually we're going to drop off the caboose outside of town to flag the main line. Make sure people know that there's a switcher working in town. And then we're pulling the runaround. Now let's start doing the work. So, let's see. Well, I guess let's start with the cement industry. So we'll run around the train. That is, if I can uncouple these cars, we'll run around the train. There we go. Exactly. That was the goal with this layout, was to try and get a lot of switching and not a lot of space. It's not super prototypical, which is why I'm going to rework some of the track work up here. This track is actually going to go away. This track is going to shift a little closer to the wall there, and that's going to become a what's it called? Industry, a propane dealer. So I'll get some tank cars on the layout, which will add another interest, because I'll need a buffer car between the locomotive and the tank car. So that'll be a fun little operation that we've got to do. And then these tracks are going to widen a little bit. They're going to get a loading dock down between them, and it's going to become a team track. So we're going to lose one track's worth of space, but I think it'll be a lot better, a lot more realistic, which is what I like. So that's the goal. Alright, so let's hook onto the end of the train here. Actually tilt the camera a little bit that way you can see what's going on. Coupled, we are not. Now we are. I'm going to shove, actually. I'm going to shove the whole train down. And yeah, this is the DCC layout. Well, actually, it's both, because I have... The way I powered the layout is I just hooked some wires to the end of the rails on the one end. And then I have hookups for a DCC controller and hookups for a DC McLoughlin power pack. So I can run this as either, but most of the time I run it as DCC because it's most of my layout. Most of my locos at this point have decoders in them, or are in the process of getting decoders in them. And you get sound, which is fun. But yeah, it's a little bit of a trade-off. But honestly, in this case, I'm because it's a fictional location, I'm okay with it. The reason I wanted to rework this is because the way it's set up right now, these are basically industries that should have buildings around them or next to them, and there's not a lot of space. There's not nearly enough space to, if you put a building like this, so the tracks go into the building, which is what it originally was intended to be when I was making it, and I didn't really know much about how this worked. It's just, there's not enough space to unload the car on either side. What happened here? We somehow had the pilot truck jump the track. Why? Why did that happen? There we go. I'm really not sure why that happened, but... Yeah, that totally... you can totally do that because each line is wired separately with a T-track module. You can totally set it up like that. Alright, so now we've got these two covered hoppers. We're going to bring them down onto the lumber lead. The cement lead. And yeah, I've got that nice track diagram that I drew up on in Adobe, in Illustrator. So you can see what I mean when I talk about various locations. So we're going to shove it down the cement lead. And what we have to do in order to switch the industry is you have to pick up the two cars that are under the shed. Those are empties. Those have been unloaded. We have to take the two loaded cars that are on track 1, move them to track 2 under the shed, and then take the two loaded cars that are on the train and spot them on track 1. Well, thank you, Brian. I'm quite happy with it, and it's been a work of progress for a long time now. But this past 6 months or so, it's really, I mean, all of the scenery and lighting and everything on this side has all happened in the last 6 months. So, and the nice finish on the sides, the layouts, all the track weathering, all of that's happened in the last 6 months. And that's all helped significantly to make this the layout that it is today. So I am extremely happy with it. And I'm going to be even more happy with it the more work I do to finish it up. Quote unquote finish it up. Once I get this track work done, oops, we didn't actually couple, there we go. Once I get the track work redone up here, I'll be able to start building the structures for those two industries. This one's going to be easy, it's just a loading dock down the center for less than carload freight and stuff like that. This one over here is going to be a little more interesting. I'm going to get a Walters kit as a starting point, and I'm going to probably kit bash a building for the, the place to sell the propane to customers, and the sales house and stuff like that. Yeah, I built this layout in high school actually for a class project. We had to teach the class about something we were passionate about in English, and I decided to teach my class how to run a switching job. So I built this layout in about a month. I put down all the track, constructed the frame and everything, and it just kind of sat for a while. I got the very base level scenery like this stuff going, and I put a couple trees on the, this area over here. I put a few trees, but it didn't come out very good because it was the first time I'd ever done any of that. So all of the, as I'm going, I'm pulling up a lot of the old scenery that I did. Why are we stuck? Oh, that's why. We jumped the track here. This car needs some added weight. This Conrail covered hopper. All three of those short PS2 covered hoppers. Absolutely best English project of my life. But, so I got it to a very base level scenery. I built a couple cardboard buildings, and then that was the end of the layout, basically. I went away to college, and I left it here at home, because I didn't have space for it in my dorm or anything like that. And then COVID, and I didn't really get back into it during COVID. I got into really learning weathering super well. I was doing weathering before COVID, but COVID is when I really, like 2021, 2022 is when I really started honing my skills. That was my COVID project, was learning to weather cars really well. And that's been my passion in the hobby ever since then, along with switching. But this finally came back when I got home from school this summer. Well, actually no, before that. This came back probably last summer. Yeah. This came back last summer. Because I had started really getting into op sessions and stuff like that with my school club. I traveled to people's layouts in the area and things like that. Got a bunch of switching done. And I was really back into, I want to run more trains. I really want to run more trains. And I was like, I've got this layout, I just never use it. I finally took it back out, put it up on the Soul Horses again, and started running it. It ran awful. The track work was horrendous. The boards were completely uneven. The three foam boards that formed the base of the layout, they were super warped. So I had to go back in, glue those all back down to the the studs basically that I have under the layout to form the structure. And then I had to go in and glue down a bunch of track work better. I went in, you can see over here, all of this pink was the cork that I had under the track work when I first laid the track. I just kind of left it as big wide rectangles. I didn't really ever shape it or cut it down to size or anything like that. So I had these big pieces of foam sticking everywhere. Or cork or everything. So then I had to I redid all of that. I glued down the track a lot better. I re-leveled some areas with some cork and some stuff underneath. But like up here, we still have a lot of issues with track. So that's part of why I'm reworking that track, or relaying that track, is because it struggles still there. But you can definitely tell that it's still not great. Oops, missed the points there. When I put like if I leave a car there, it'll slowly roll back down to here. This car will tend to roll if I'm just leaving it there, which is why I've got this little basically derail. That's pretty much what it is. To stop it from rolling down into where it'll foul the track. And then I ran a bunch of feeder wires everywhere to get power draw to be consistent across the layout. Why I didn't need to. The caboose should stay there. So it was a big project, and it still is a big project because there's still some work to do. But it runs really good now, for the most part, and it's a lot of fun to do, to just sit here and be able to run a switch job for 20-30 minutes. Alright, so the Vermont Railway is going to go to the lumber, so we'll do that next. That's mine, perfect. But yeah, so it's been a project, but it's been a lot of fun as well. It's taught me a lot. This layout has taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about scratch building. You know, this building over here and this shed right here were two of the first like real scratch built structures that I made for N scale. I built a bunch of stuff in school for architecture school, but this is the first real structures I built. Exactly. It's very much like a game for me. It's, instead of jumping on Minecraft all the time, which is what I used to do, now I'll throw together a switch list, and I'll run a switch job. And then I'll throw together another one, and I'll run another one. And that's what's great about the Ops Buddy tool there, is it makes it different each time. So I don't have to worry about, it's just the same thing over and over again. Because sometimes I may run certain industries and not other industries. So sometimes I'll only drop off 2 cars. Sometimes I'll have the entire track full, and I'll need to work things back and forth, left and right, in order to be able to actually complete the job. So it adds that level of randomness that is very realistic. The railroad doesn't do the exact same thing every single day. But also, it's, a ton of fun. Yeah. Very true, Brandon. Very true. Yeah. I do really enjoy Minecraft still, though, and I've been playing more of it recently. But this is just, this is my hobby. This is my passion. So what's fun about this is, this rail box is not getting switched today. It's still being loaded or unloaded or whatever from the hardware store. So we have to move it off of its spot. And then pick up the car down there, drop off the car, and move the rail box back. Which is a fun little addition to the operating session. I've built in a lot of fun little you have to do this before you can do that things to the session, which adds a lot of operational interest and makes it a lot of fun. It is Friday night, Brandon. Welcome to the present. Alright, let's run up to here. I really want to go into the CVs and program the chuff rate on this locomotive. I gotta see, because this is a Paragon 4 Broadway Limited locomotive. I have no idea what the CV is for chuff rate. So I've got to look that up. That is true. For you coming, it is Saturday morning. It's probably almost Saturday afternoon coming up. Down under. You're living in the future there. Time does move different out of college, dude. It's crazy. It's time doesn't exist anymore. Shove this here. 9:30, okay. That's about when I woke up this morning. So now we gotta drop this car off. Yeah, that'd be fun, Brian. There's still that would actually be a lot of fun. And that would work really well with virtual operators as well. Because that's nowadays I've built this. What this layout has transformed into is this layout is for me to run for fun by myself. It's for me to bring to shows and run at shows and showcase switching in N scale. And then it's for me to have virtual operators, run my railroad. Your RFIDs would work really well with someone running my railroad virtually, because I don't even have to have a little panel on the layout or anything. I could just have them pull up I just share my screen with a bunch of web panels, basically. And then you can see it fine. So that would be pretty fun. True, very true. It would probably be pretty cheap to just grab this. I mean, Brian, I'm sure you've looked into what the best way to get the stuff you need for it is, but yeah. Here's what we're gonna do. Because I need to get my coupler basically here, between these two cars. Oops. Yeah, the only thing, Brandon, is it's got to be small enough to fit on one of these train cars. So that's the at HO scale. I'm sure it's a lot easier. At N scale here, you got to get an RFID tag that's small enough to fit in. I don't know. 3 inches long by a 1/4 inch wide by maybe 1/2 inch tall. Like, that's your maximum dimensions that you can have. So, that's where it gets a little tough. So I don't know if what you have is the right size. I have no idea. I also have zero concept of how big RFID stuff is. So, for all I know, it may be fine. Yeah, I know you did mention that. Which is super awesome, and I'm really glad to hear that, because that means that there's a possibility that we can get it working on mine too. But like I said, I have zero. I am scale modeling and architectural design drawing brained. I am not electronic brained. Brandon will tell you, we were trying to work out some Arduino stuff. We were trying to work out some Arduino stuff that I was going to put on the layout, but I have not gotten around to putting on the layout for switch machines and the sort. But we were sitting there for about an hour trying to rework code to make it work right and figure out what was going wrong, because it just kept spinning and spinning. And then I looked and I realized I had a continuous motion server. I didn't have a regular servo, so it didn't stop at the extents. It went full 360. And so instead of setting the angle that you wanted the servo to turn to in the code, you had to set the amount of time you wanted the servo to spin for. So I don't know what that tells you, but I think that tells you that I know nothing about electronics and coding. It's what I think that tells you. Oh, there you go. There's proof that the layout is still far from level. That is true. That is very true. It's all about learning and figuring things out as you go. This car is way too light, this Mopac car, so I'm going to have to, before I send it out to someone, whoever that winds up being, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the giveaway. I either might do a short stream later tonight to do the giveaway, or I'll do it first thing on the stream tomorrow, the first giveaway. Because I do think what I'm going to do is do a different giveaway each day. And then we'll see where things go from there. But I gotta finish this job up now that we're just about done here. Once I finish this job up, I've got to go visit my grandparents, say hi to them. They just got back from a trip, so I'm going to go say hi to them. I told them I would be getting there around 6, and it takes me about 25 minutes to get there, so I'm going to be late. But that's okay, because we're just about done with this here. Why didn't that couple? There we go. The front coupler on this locomotive is troublesome, shall we say? Yeah, of course, Brian. If you're there, I'll see you there, I'm sure. If not, then I'll see you on the streams here. And what I might do is, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to make a little Discord server community. Even if it's just to tell people when I'm streaming and invite people to virtually run my railroad, you know, and have a place for that, and for a railroader gaming session. I think that's enough. I think that's enough space here. So yeah, let's yeah, it has been great, Brian. I'm glad you stopped in, and yeah. So there's actually in what I've experienced, there's like maybe a second of input delay between the operator and the camera and what you see and what you experience and all that stuff. It's very little. It's short enough delay that, like, when I was operating my friend's layout this way, my friend down in Texas, when I was running his layout with it, I couldn't tell if it was input lag or just the locomotive having momentum, because his locomotives were Rapido locomotives with ESU decoders that had a lot of momentum built in it. I couldn't tell the difference. When he turned off the momentum, it was really hard for me to tell. And he said on his, there was, because when we do it, I don't do it like a live stream with them. I do it like a what's it called? A Skype call, or a WebEx call, or a Zoom call, or whatever call, a video chat, basically. And the delay on that has been very minimal from what we've experienced. It's extremely promising. Like I said, I'll this weekend I'll make a Discord server, and I'll put a link to it on my channel, and then you guys can hop in there, and we'll give it a try sometime. And Brandon, you can give me a chat whenever, you know, if you want to give it a shot. Right, there's that. That would be, if it was through a YouTube stream, that would be a significant challenge. Because there is at least a 4 or 5 second delay between what I say and what I see and what shows up on the stream. So that would certainly be a challenge. No, yeah, I do a voice call or whatever. I have not yet tried doing a voice call with someone to do, or a video call, I mean, with someone to do an operating session and live streaming at the same time. I'm sure it's possible, but I have not yet tried that. To drive train, yes, Brandon. You can drive train from your house to my house, even if you're, you know, at your home upstate. I have it set up where all you need is an app on your phone, and you can control the train from there. And I'll just basically throw the switches and uncouple the cars. Alright, we've got the caboose back on, so let's roll forward. So yeah, if you want to, Brandon, just shoot me a text or whatever. We'll do it. I'll set up a call between us, and like I said, for you, Brian, and for anyone else, Coming, we can try it with you. I don't know how well it'll. I don't know what the input lag is going to be across the ocean, but we can give it a try if you want. And so I'll put up the Discord server soon. Have a great night, Brian. I'm about to wrap up myself. Keep an eye out for maybe a stream later today, and if not, then a stream tomorrow for the official giveaway. And then if you win, I'll be reaching out. But thanks for stopping in tonight. It's really great hearing from you, and maybe I'll see you on Sunday. Have a great rest of your night, man. Oh, this front cover is so frustrating. I really gotta replace it with a microtrains. There we go. And there is the train pulling out of town. And that's as far as it'll go, because then it'll run off the layout if I'm not careful. So there's that. Yes, $100 raised. So we'll be doing the giveaway. Like I said, I just got to figure out when I'll do it, but I'll do it live on stream. I'll get it done either later tonight or tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for joining tonight. Have a great rest of your evenings. I will be on again, like I said, either later tonight or tomorrow, around probably 3 or 4 tomorrow. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for helping me raise $100. I'll be sure to raise the goal for tomorrow. That way we can keep working on raising some money for a really great cause. But thanks so much for hopping in tonight. It's been a ton of fun. I hope you all have enjoyed as much as I have. Yeah, have a great rest of your night, everybody. I'll see you around.